Hey there, horror aficionado. You ever feel something inside you that you can't quite explain, maybe a craving that seems a bit off? Let me tell you about the haunting hunger that took over my life. This is the story of my obsession with Lana. At first, I thought what I felt was normal, just a simple desire, a common kind of hunger that anyone could experience. But with each passing day, with every glance exchanged between me and Lana, I noticed something awakening inside me, a hunger I had never known before, something deeper, darker. Lana was the most beautiful girl in our class, fair skin, silky hair, graceful like she didn't belong in the same world as the rest of us. I was always quiet, a nobody in the back row. People only noticed me when they needed answers during exams. But Lana, she was the kind of girl I was afraid to approach, not because she was mean. Far from it, she was too kind. That was the problem. Too kind, almost unreal. That's when it all started. "Hey, Alex, you coming later?" asked Jim, the loudest in our group. "It's Lana's birthday. She said food's on her." I paused. I didn't know why my heart suddenly raced at that. I just gave a quiet nod. That evening, we went to Lana's house. It was huge, an old mansion, the kind you wouldn't want to enter alone. The air was strangely cold, and the lights inside were dim, like the house itself didn't want to reveal its secrets. There was a feast laid out, lechon, caldereta, adobo, and more. Everyone from class was there, laughing and chatting, but even with all the food in front of me, I couldn't eat. There was a smell, sharp, metallic, like raw meat, freshly cut. I glanced at Lana, who sat at the far end of the table, watching me like she knew what I was feeling. "Is it good, Alex?" she asked, with a soft smile. I nodded, though I hadn't touched anything. "Try the menudo," she said, handing me a bowl. "That one's special." I looked down. The sauce was thick and deep red. Beneath it, soft chunks of meat, smooth, tender-looking, almost too refined. Slowly, I picked up a piece and placed it in my mouth. That's when it hit me. The taste exploded on my tongue, rich, unfamiliar, melting like butter. It wasn't pork, it wasn't beef, but it was incredible, terrifyingly delicious. That night I couldn't rest. I felt feverish, trembling, sweating cold. I kept tossing and turning, haunted by the memory of that taste, and of Lana. Her soft flesh, her scent, those deep red lips, ripe like fruit, waiting to be devoured. I tried to fight it. God knows I tried, but I couldn't. The next day I skipped school. I couldn't face Lana, not when I knew that if I saw her again, I might not be able to stop myself. I might tear into her smooth skin with my own nails. I might press my face against her shoulder, and God, what was I becoming? After 3 days, I forced myself to return. I needed to prove that I was still normal, that I wasn't losing my mind to some monstrous hunger. But when I got to the classroom, Lana wasn't there. "Where's Lana?" I asked Jim. He and the others exchanged glances. "You didn't hear?" he whispered. "She disappeared a few nights ago. Her family's been looking, but nothing." I turned to the window. Far in the distance, at the edge of the schoolyard, I saw a shadow, Lana, standing under a tree, smiling at me, and on her neck, a gaping wound, like something had torn right through it. I swallowed hard. I didn't know what to feel, fear, guilt, relief. I couldn't move. I didn't even flinch when she started walking toward me, until I felt her cold breath against my skin. "I'm not mad at you, Alex," she whispered into my ear, "but you know what you did, don't you?" I closed my eyes because, yes, I knew. I knew I was the reason she disappeared. I knew that night when I tasted her meat at dinner. That wasn't just food, and the worst part, it wasn't just her I wanted. Because as she stood in front of me, I caught that same familiar scent rising from her skin. The sweetness of fresh flesh, the metallic warmth of blood just beneath the surface. And deep in my stomach, the hunger stirred once again.